Hey everybody, it is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. There's going to be we're here to bring you live coverage of the Boulder terror attack, press conference, and suspect court appearance. And the court appearance is supposed to be in like 10 minutes. So let me get this up on the screen here. If you give me 2 seconds, I need to put this on the screen. Hang on a moment. Let me do this. All right. And once I get it on the screen, then we can talk. But here is, how do I want to do this? Okay, so can you guys see that? That seems to work. That's Boulder Jail and Judge Malkinson, I think it is. This is via Colorado courts. So you can see it now. I don't know if there's volume on this right now. I don't know if they're actually doing a hearing. Let's see. Maybe there's no volume because there's no hearing at the moment. It's supposed to be at 3:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 Mountain Time. So coming up in about 9 minutes. And then the press conference is at 4:30 Eastern, 2:30 Mountain Time. And we're going to give you the latest updates on the attack as well. But we're in the right place for the this is the right feed as far as I'm aware for the hearing. But maybe they'll turn the volume on when somebody actually begins a hearing. It looks like there's no hearing going on. And I'm checking. I have the volume turned on there. I have the volume turned on there, so it should work. Let me check one other. Yeah, and the volume is working. You'll hear this in a second. Should work. Yeah. All that's working, so we should be good to go. Hold on a second here, and hold on one moment. Thank you for joining the stream. Thanks to all of our moderators. Yeah, guys, some people are claiming there were fatalities. I have not heard any fatalities. I believe the last that police said there were 8 injuries. 8 injuries, ranging from 52 to 88. I haven't heard of any fatalities. Joe J. Pepper says, Boulder County courts work this way. Normally they turn the volume on when people start to speak. Ooh. All right. Oh, hold on. Now I have to do... Oh, I see what's going on. Hold on. I have to make an adjustment here because you're not seeing everything you need to be seeing. So let's try this again. What I got to do is do it like this. Hang on here. Like that. So you can see everything. There's too much to see. There's too many people. So his hearing is supposed to be in 6 minutes. And we're going to talk about the attack and give you the latest updates. But we have the court appearance in 6 minutes, and we have of the suspect, Mohamed Soliman. And then we have the press conference in like an hour and 6 minutes. They're going to announce charges at the press conference. There are going to be charges announced at the press conference. So I just want to make sure we get you the right coverage of of this court hearing, which is going to happen in a couple minutes. So I'm kind of focused on that for the moment. Hey, a quick thank you to our moderators. We have One Way Street and Roberts May Queen, Janet B, Beth Mythical moderating over there on YouTube. Thank you. We have over on Twitch moderating. We have Matthew Kohai 3, thank you. Linda Belk, Larry, Misha on X. Thanks to our Facebook mods too. Hold on a second here. Margaret Riley is moderating over there. Thank you, Margaret. All right. And thank you so much to Queen Wanhida for being a member, and also Ohio Rando. Thank you, Ohio Rando, for your support. The Boulder Police Department, or the Boulder County Sheriff's Office, had said that today's court proceeding for Mohamed Soliman will take place at 1:30 local time, which is in 4 minutes. Oh my gosh, there's so many things here. I'm going to have to change this again. Hold on a second. Now I have to change the window. Hold on, everyone. Hold on here. This is now what I have to do because it just changed again. We have this now. Let me put this here. Put that here. Put that. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. This is going to be the first court appearance for Mohamed Soliman at the Boulder County Jail. Now, that's not him. I presume this is somebody else sitting. That's Routt County Jail. Oh, so this must be another hearing first. Maybe there's a bunch of hearings. But this is Boulder. Well, Boulder Jail is up here. So, again, I went to the link. This is the correct link. But maybe, I don't have, there's no volume yet.
We're on the record.
Hold on.
Monday, June 2nd, 2025. This is Division 9 of the Boulder County Jail. Anybody who's watching, hoping to see the Soliman case, that will be called at 3:30. So come back at 3:30. Are we ready on anything?
We are, and I have a...
Oh, sorry, 3:30. Well, okay. So you just heard it. They had announced, the sheriff's office had originally announced that his court hearing would be at 1:30, which is in 3 minutes. The judge just said, I think it was the judge, that his court hearing will be at 3:30, which is in 2 hours. But the press conference is at 2:30. So I guess we'll do press conference, then court appearance. Yeah, the press conference is at 2:30. Look, what can I say? Let me show you let me show you this. Look at this right here. Look at this. Just look at this. See right there? It says Sheriff's Office. Today's court proceeding for Mohamed Soliman will take place at 1:30. But we have the press conference is coming up in an hour. I got to put that on the screen. Anyways, well, sorry about the confusion with the timing. I can't control that. That's out of my control. So we'll talk about the attack until the press conference. Then we'll watch the press conference. Then we'll watch the court hearing. That's what we're going to do. So let me just get organized here. What I first need to do is put on the screen that the press conference is coming up at 2:30. Yeah, so you can see right here, Officials from the Boulder District Attorney's Office and the Boulder Police Department will join the FBI and Acting U.S. Attorney J. Bishop Gruel for a joint press conference today, Monday, June 2nd at 2:30 p.m. to announce state and federal charges against Mohamed Soliman in the connection with the June 1st attack on the gathering at Pearl Street in Boulder. So we will have live coverage of that. So what I need to do is Boulder attack press conference at 4:30 ET, 2:30 MT. Okay. All right. So let's now talk about the attack. So sorry for the confusion. Again, it's now 1:30 Mountain Time. The schedule was for the for the suspect to make his court appearance right now, but that has been delayed till after the press conference. That's going to take place in 2 hours. Okay. Now that... Now let's get some updates on the actual, and take some comments from you on the actual attack. So, first of all, here is the mugshot of Mohamed Soliman. And that is a post from 5 hours ago. Oh, hold on. I have some live shot from the jail. I have a live shot from the jail. Wait, hold on a second here. There's the county jail. That's Boulder, Colorado. They're on the roof. Can you see this? This is via Reuters. That is a live shot from the Boulder County Jail. So I figured I'd let you see that. At least it was the Boulder County Jail when they were showing it before. So I guess there's a chance they switched to a different shot, but I believe it's the Boulder County Jail. Let's see, it'll say right now. Where is it? Where's the sign? Boulder County Jail, right there. This is the Boulder County Jail. Snicker Snack says it makes sense they don't want any surprises. So we have some bonus footage for you here. Not Cuz says the cop on the roof with the long hair was in on the arrest. Is that true? Okay, so we'll keep an eye on this shot as well. High-profile prisoners, says Jean Ann. All right, so we have that to keep an eye on. And let me show you, meanwhile, let me show you guys the mugshot here. If I can do this. What I need to do is do this. This will work. Oh, hold on. There's some movement on the shot outside. People on the roof are moving. Thank you, Owl Hippie, for the gift memberships. I appreciate that, Owl Hippie. He is at the Boulder County Jail. That's where the suspect is. That is where the suspect is of the Boulder terror attack. He will be doing a court appearance from the Boulder County Jail. That That's coming up after the press conference. The press conference is coming up in 56 minutes. How much time will he get? I don't know what I have to look up. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know if this is a possible death penalty. Well, I don't know, he didn't kill anybody, so I don't know if it's a death penalty case, even if it's terrorism. I don't know what the laws are there. Could be attempted murder, I'm not sure. The charges are going to be announced at the press conference. Let me try to get you some more information here. But we are looking at the. First of all, here is the mugshot. It says Meanwhile, let me turn the audio off of that. In response to several questions received overnight regarding the Pearl Street attack in Boulder, we are sharing the following. No victims have died. The suspect's mugshot is seen here. His date of birth is December 15th, 1979, 45 years old. The next press conference will be later today, and details will be forthcoming as soon as they're available. There is Mohamed Soliman. No, they say no. The police say nobody has died. I don't know what other source I can tell you, but the police literally posted nobody has died, and they have not updated that with any other information. Some of our viewers, like Lisa Vanderstein and Thomas Darwin, thinks he looks older than 45. All right, so we're going to have the press conference coming up in 54 minutes. Now, by the way, thank you to Tricom, Turk Tikram, and also Lisa Sutz, our member. Oh, now Lisa says they released the criminal complaint. Thanks for reminding me, Lisa. I was going to try to get my hands on that. Alexander G. and Leonette, thank you. Give me a second here. Let me see if I can dig that up. Hold on. Hang on a moment. What I'm going to do, I want to get that criminal complaint. Give me 2 seconds here. Give me 2 seconds here. They have an email address? Oh, it's probably not the police department. Who releases the criminal complaint? Is it the police department or the county? While I'm doing that, somebody said the county. I'm going to check the county too. While I'm doing that, let me go back for a second to here is the shot of the Boulder County Jail. That is the Boulder County Jail. I'll actually have this say Boulder County Jail. Give me 2 more seconds. Yeah, I answered the question already. It's the Boulder County Jail that we're looking at, and I assume there's extra protection there because the suspect is there. Sorry, I'm just trying. I really want to get a copy of the criminal complaint. And oh, here we go. Ah, I think I know. Why is there no email address? When I go to, oh, hold on. I might have what I need. I got it. Hold on. I have the right email address. Give me 1 second. I got to send a 2-second email to try to get this criminal complaint.
Hi, my name's Evan Garcia.
Just requesting this criminal complaint.
But if I show up there at like 2:15, I'll be fine, right? Okay, great. And could I? Is this your? Could I get like a?
Hold on. Okay, I sent my request.
Oh, I can do that. It'll be out there if it is changed.
Thanks for your patience.
Okay.
I sent my request for the criminal complaint. Oh, hold on. One of the viewers sent it in. I just got it. Hey, Basic Test sent it to me. Thanks to our viewer, Basic Test, who sent it to me. There you go. Okay, you're looking at the Boulder County Jail. So, we got the criminal complaint. So we have that, and then, meanwhile, hold on a second here. Okay, I want to show you an update about the suspect, okay? We're waiting for the press conference, which starts in 48 minutes, okay? Suspect in Colorado attack told police he researched for a year and targeted Zionist group. This is from AP. Give me one moment here. I'll put his picture on the screen. And let me show you this. This is actually an interesting video. So this is the video from the Boulder County Jail. Maybe what I'll do, do you guys want me, I can leave this video up and then I can talk about some of the details of the case. But I think some people probably want to see the live video. So why don't I do that? Then you can keep an eye on that. By the way, thanks so much to PZ Papa Zulu, who said, why didn't anyone try to stop him, a veteran or two? I don't know who was there at the time and all that, so maybe no one there was somebody who had a weapon on them or something. I'm not sure. I can't speak to what each person was doing there. We'll check the criminal complaint too. Let me update you. Thank you so much, PZ Papa Zulu. So let me update you from this. I'm going to show you, while we keep an eye on the Boulder County Jail, I'm going to update you from the AP story here. Suspect in Colorado attack told police he researched for a year and targeted Zionist group. A man accused of throwing Molotov cocktails into a Colorado group that had gathered to bring attention to Israeli hostages in Gaza planned the attack for more than a year. And, this is in the criminal complaint, and specifically targeted what he described as a Zionist group, authorities said in court papers. Unsealed Monday, charging him with a federal hate crime. An FBI affidavit says he confessed to the attack after being taken into custody. He told the police he would do it again. I have the criminal complaint right here. Okay, so here is the criminal complaint, which was one of our viewers very helpfully sent in. And you can see against Mohamed Soliman. And let me go to the part about when they take him in, they say, here, look. He was placed under arrest and a Mirandized interview was conducted with local and federal law enforcement. During the interview, Soliman stated that he researched on YouTube how to make Molotov cocktails. He purchased the ingredients to do so and constructed them. He traveled to Boulder, Colorado in his vehicle with the Molotov cocktails and threw 2 of the cocktails at individuals participating in a pro-Israel gathering. He also stated that he picked up gas at a gas station on the way to Boulder. He stated he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead. He said he would do it again. He specifically targeted the Zionist group that had gathered in Boulder, having learned about the group from an online search. He knew they planned to meet on Sunday at 1 p.m. He arrived approximately 12:55 p.m. and waited for them. Throughout the interview, he stated he hated the Zionist group, and he did this because he hated the group, and he needed to stop them from taking over our land, which he expected to be Palestine. Which he explained to be Palestine. He stated he had been planning the attack for a year and waiting until after his daughter graduated to conduct the attack. He has a wife and 5 children. He left an iPhone at his house with messages to his family. He also said he left a journal inside his house. All right, hold on one second here. There's the jail, by the way. I'm going to take some comments. Just give me a second here. Oops. Give me 2 seconds. I wonder what his journal says. I want to take some comments on that, but give me one moment here. Okay, so you're looking at the Boulder County Jail. Let's go back to this here. Oh, and by the way, hold on a second here. Where is the hang on. There's other things I want to mention from the criminal complaint as well. CBS News is reporting, Jennifer Jacobs from CBS News reported that his most recent workplace was Uber. And he began driving for Uber around 9 months ago. He had remained an active driver. He started as an Uber food courier in spring 2023. Uber has now terminated his employment. CBS News is reporting he was charged with a federal hate crime. CBS News reports. Oh, hold on a second here. CBS News, Jennifer Jacobs says that the Justice Department said that he is charged with a federal hate crime in addition to facing state charges for attempted murder in Colorado. And then there's also, hold on a second here. I want to show you what the DHS said about him as well. Tricia McLaughlin, who's with the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, said he is illegally in the country. He entered the country in August 2022 on a B2 visa that expired in February 2023. He filed for asylum in September 2022. And all right, so again, where's the thing about the other Molotov cocktails? Here, right here. Here is... Soliman was detained by local law enforcement after the attack. A black plastic container with a yellow top was found near where Soliman was arrested. In the black plastic container were at least 14 unlit Molotov cocktails, comprised of a glass wine carafe bottles or ball jars, containing clear liquid in rags hanging out of the bottles. Near the black plastic container was a backpack weed sprayer, potentially containing a flammable substance. The clear liquid in the glass bottles and weed sprayer were determined to be 87-octane gasoline, which was determined to contain xylene based on a field test. Ball makes mason jars, some of our viewers were saying. Ball Corporation, I'm looking at Wikipedia. They no longer produce mason jars, but I guess they did. And hold on. A mason jar, here, mason jar, known as a canning jar, preserves jar, or a fruit jar, is a glass jar used in home canning to preserve food. Thank you, chat. All right, so let's just, again, one more time go over. We're waiting. Oh, hold on a second. Here is the live shot from the Boulder County Jail where the suspect is. That's the live shot from there. Jason D says, Ball is based right outside of Boulder. That's what Jason says. Let's see here. OPR 357 says, are they expecting a breakout attempt or something? I'm assuming this might be extra security because of the high-profile nature of the person there. I'm not at Boulder County Jail every day. They got people on the roof. Maybe they usually do, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is extra security, but I can't say that for sure. So, we're letting you keep an eye on. We're keeping an eye on this. We're waiting for the press conference, and we're giving you some details about. Oh, and there's the roof of the. That's the roof of the Boulder County Jail. We're giving you some updated details about the incident. And we are taking your comments on the air. It's about a half an hour, 36 minutes until the press conference. All right, so let's. Our viewer Jamie Rowland thinks this is definitely a lot of security. By the way, thank you to Joe for your support. And hold on a moment here. Thank you to Dark Crypto and Matthew Kohai 3 for subscribing. Thank you. And also Soupz's for subscribing. All right, so let's go back, guys. Let's just look for a second at the criminal complaint. So this is a court document, criminal complaint against Mohamed Soliman, U.S. District Court. And let's just look at this again, talking about what happened yesterday. All right. So it says, what if I do this? Hey guys, watch this. What if I do this? Just to keep an eye on it. We can just do this. I'll put this in the corner. Oops. Oh, further live coverage is expected. Well, it looks like they lost their camera for a second. I won't put it in the corner. Anyways. Okay, so Run for Their Lives, an organization called Run for Their Lives, organizes a weekly walk across the U.S. as a way to call attention to Israeli hostages still being held in Gaza. They had posted about a walk on Sunday at 1 p.m. at the corner of 8th and Pearl. At approximately 2 p.m., they say, Mohamed Soliman threw 2 lit Molotov cocktails at individuals participating in a pro-Israel gathering near the Boulder courthouse. Okay? When he threw the Molotov cocktails, he yelled, "Free Palestine," and the Molotov cocktails ignited in the crowd of people, causing burn injuries to 8 individuals. He was detained by local law enforcement. A black plastic container with a yellow top was found near where he was arrested. In the black plastic container were at least 14 unlit Molotov cocktails, comprised of glass wine carafe bottles or ball jars containing clear liquid in red rags hanging out of the bottles. Near the black plastic container was a backpack weed sprayer, potentially containing a flammable substance. The clear liquid in the glass bottles and weed sprayer were determined to be 87-octane gasoline, which was determined to contain xylene based on a field test. I just looked, the internet says, one source on the internet said gas contains xylene. So I'm assuming that the xylene is just normally in that gas. So he showed up with at least 16 Molotov cocktails. Larna says he meant to hurt many people. And the details of the interview with him are quite disturbing. Law enforcement looked at a 2015 silver Toyota Prius. They give the license plate, registered to him, parked on Spruce and 13th Street. Visible inside his car was red material consistent with the rags found in the black plastic container, a red gas container, and paperwork with the words Israel, Palestine, and U.S. aid. The FBI took the vehicle. Soliman was placed under arrest, and a Mirandized interview was conducted by local and federal law enforcement. During the interview, Soliman stated that he researched on YouTube how to make Molotov cocktails. He purchased the ingredients to do so, and he constructed them. He traveled to Boulder, Colorado, in his vehicle with the Molotov cocktails and threw 2 of the cocktails at individuals participating in a pro-Israel gathering. He also stated he picked up gas at a gas station on the way to Boulder. By the way, where is he from originally? They give an address. I mean, they give an address, but do they say what town is Mohamed Soliman living in? Oh, I think I saw it yesterday. I forget. Does anyone? No. Where was he living in the United States? I'm not talking about where he was born. I'm saying where was he living? Because it says he traveled to Boulder. He was already in the country. Laura says Colorado Springs. I just want to get that information for you. Oh, ABC News says he's from El Paso County, Colorado. That's where Colorado Springs is. They probably have it in one of their press releases. Hold on 1 second here. 1 second here. I might as well just get you the correct details right here. He's from El Paso County, which is where Colorado Springs is. I can tell you that. And our viewers are saying they give the address in the. They give his address in the. It says the address. Where is it? Oh, Colorado Springs. It's right in front of me. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's right there. Anyways, so he drove from Colorado Springs to Boulder. Why is this not being stupid? The drive time it's about a 2-hour drive, about a 100-mile drive from Colorado Springs to Boulder. So he actually, I assume he drove from Colorado Springs, but his home is about a 100-mile drive from Boulder. Okay, so check this out here. So again, he was placed under arrest and an interview was conducted by local and federal law enforcement. During the interview, he said he researched on YouTube how to make Molotov cocktails. He purchased the ingredients to do so and constructed them. He traveled to Boulder, Colorado in his car with the Molotov cocktails and threw 2 of the cocktails at individuals participating in a pro-Israel gathering. He also stated he picked up gas at a gas station on the way to Boulder. He stated he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead. He said he would do it again. He said he would do it again, conduct an attack. He specifically targeted, he said, the Zionist group that had gathered in the Boulder, having learned about the group from an online search. He said he knew they planned to meet today at 1 p.m. He arrived approximately at 12:55 p.m. and waited for them. Throughout the interview, he said he hated the Zionist group, and he did this because he hated this group, and he needed to stop them from taking over our land, which he explained to be Palestine. He stated he had been planning the attack for a year and was waiting until after his daughter graduated to conduct the attack. He said his address, and he said he resides there with his wife and 5 children. He said he left an iPhone at the house hidden in a desk drawer with messages to his family. He also said he left a journal inside his house. After his arrest, law enforcement officers arrived at his house in Colorado Springs, his residence, and observed his wife leaving the home. His wife then went to the Colorado Springs police office. She brought with her an iPhone 14 that she identified to belong to Soliman and be used by other members of the family. So she actually went to the police and brought his iPhone, I guess. Law enforcement officers also observed the storage unit identified by a neighbor to be associated with Soliman's residence, which was located behind the residence. In a video, He didn't post this. I knew about this. I thought they were saying he posted a video. In a video which was posted on the social media platform X during the attack, an individual identified as Soliman is seen shirtless, pacing back and forth while holding what appeared to be Molotov cocktails, glass bottles containing a clear liquid with a red rag hanging from the top of the bottle. He is captured on the video stating, "How many children killed?" Then a few moments later, "End Zionist." The FBI agent says, based on my training, experience, and research, I know that Zionist to mean individuals. The term Zionist means individuals who believe in the establishment of a Jewish state and are supportive of the government of Israel. Based on the above facts, blah, 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 I declare that. So this is the statement. This is the criminal complaint against him. Anyways, we're going to wait. In terms of the specific, there's more charges than this. Says hate crime involving actual or perceived race, religion, or national origin. I believe he's going to face multiple charges. We'll hear more about the charges in detail at the press conference in 25 minutes. This says NMT 10 years imprisonment, NMT 5 years for supervised release. Is this like a maximum sentence for this charge? Or is this minimum? I don't even know. Let's see. NMT sentencing abbreviation. Not more than. That's maximum. But that's one charge. No more than, says Brett B. as well. All right. So I want to talk to you guys about this. Let me take some comments to you about these details about the suspect. By the way, thanks for the memberships, DeShark. Thank you, DeShark, for the memberships. We are going to have live coverage of the press conference coming up in about 24 minutes. And then after that, we're going to show you his first court appearance. One of our viewers said not more than 10 years for a hate crime sees wild. Well, so just for example, I'm not a legal expert, but a hate crime, maybe this charge just applies to, maybe it would apply to just like, saying a slur at somebody or something. I mean, so my point is, aside from this particular hate crime charge, which is just one charge, he could face other charges for throwing this, Molotov cocktails at people. Just to be clear, this is just one specific charge. The press conference is at 4:30 Eastern, and the court appearance is at 5:30 Eastern, unless they change the press conference. Because I literally have the announcement about the press conference that says it's going to be at 2:30 Mountain Time, which is 4:30 Eastern Time. They changed it? They changed the court hearing. Let me see. I'm going to check the social media and see. I see nothing. The thing that got switched was the court appearance. We were waiting for the court appearance at 1:30. That's when the court appearance was supposed to be. And I believe it was the judge came on the air right before them and said, if you're waiting for that court appearance is now 3:30. That was the court appearance, not the press conference. We literally heard that. So the press conference, I've seen nothing to suggest that is changed. That's at 2:30 Mountain. The court appearance is at 3:30 Mountain Time. Van Gambler says he would do it again, never coming out, mental jail lifetime hold. I mean, I do wonder if, I'm not a legal expert, but the fact that he says he would do it again and that he said he would kill all Zionist people and wish they were all dead and said he would do it again. I mean, I would think that could affect any kind of parole hearing, but, I'm not a, or maybe sentencing. I don't know. Old head Ted thinks he will get attempted murder. But the press conference talking about the charges is coming up in 21 minutes, and we're going to watch that. I know one of our viewers mentioned parole hearing. I would think any kind of parole hearing he might have would be way in the future. But I don't know. I mean, who knows what comes into play with that. But he's on the record saying to police he would do it again and wants all these people dead. Nobody is dead, according to the police, from this event. And he has a wife and 5 children. So, I mean, he did this, and I guess he said he left messages for them. I have no idea. They might have not known anything about this. And so he basically is, when he goes and does this, he knows I don't know what mental state he's in. I would have to think that he's aware that he's probably not going to see his wife and children again, if ever, as a free person, or at least for a very long time. So, that's a whole other thing. And, he said he left messages for his wife and kids. He said he left a journal. Maybe we'll hear something more about that from the police. I haven't heard anything about it myself yet. Red Squirrel says he threw it all away because of hate. Courtney A. thinks he will be deported or life in jail. Well, I would assume, I don't know. I mean, I would assume that he's going to be jailed in the U.S. I don't know if that's ever done. Again, for the millionth time, I'm not a legal expert. I don't know if there are cases where somebody is charged with a crime in the U.S. and they just say, well, we're going to deport them. My assumption with serious crimes like this is that they would not just deport somebody, that they would actually just put them in jail. But I don't know for sure. Wickedest Witch says, I just do not understand that depth of hatred. Let me take a second here and see. So, and again, he had, according to police, in addition to the 2 Molotov cocktails he threw, he had at least 14 others with him. Jesus' Perfection says, how do you have 5 kids in 3 years? So he came to the U.S. in 2022. Well, a couple things. I understand the question. It's possible that, I don't know if any of his children came with him here. Maybe his wife has children from a previous marriage or previous relationship. So of the 5 children in his household that he said he had, maybe some of them are not biologically his. I don't know. Yes, and as one of our viewers said, Austin Batman, he also had this backpack weed sprayer with him, which he may have used as well. I'm not sure if he used that. Yeah, and as some of our viewers saying, they said maybe he had twins or triplets or something. I don't know. We have 17 minutes until the press conference, okay? Let me just give you a couple, let's just try to get a couple updates here before this press conference. So let me check a couple things here. Federal court records do not list the name of an attorney who could speak on his behalf, and no one answered the door at a Colorado Springs townhouse where public records show he lived. That's according to AP. The 8 victims who were wounded range from 52 to 88, and the injuries range from serious to minor. 6 of the injured were taken to hospitals, and 4 have since been released, said Miri Kornfeld, a Denver-based organizer connected to the group. She said the clothing on one of those who remains hospitalized caught on fire. Alex Osanti of San Diego said he was having lunch on a restaurant patio across the pedestrian mall when he heard the crash of a bottle breaking on the ground and a boom, followed by people yelling and screaming. In video of the scene that he took, people could be seen pouring water on a woman lying on the ground who he said had caught fire during the attack. Terrible. Soliman was living in the U.S. illegally after entering the country in August 2022 on a B-2 visa that expired in February 2023. The DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said in a post on X. He filed for asylum in September 2022 and was granted a work authorization in March 2023 that had expired. Colorado Springs neighbors recognized suspect, says AP. One neighbor knew him and his family as kindly neighbors with 5 children, 3 young kids and 2 teenagers, who would play with this neighbor's kids, Shamika Pruitt, who would play with Pruitt's kids in front of their building, share food and hellos. So one neighbor thought they were kindly neighbors. Another neighbor, Kiara Johnson, said she could often hear shouting at night from his apartment and once called police because of the screaming and yelling. On Sunday, she saw law enforcement vehicles waiting on the street throughout the day until the evening when they spoke through a megaphone telling anyone in his home to come out. Nobody came out. It did not appear anyone was inside. An online resume under Soliman's name said he was employed by a Denver area healthcare company working in accounting and inventory control, with prior employees listed as companies in Egypt. Under education, the resume listed Al-Azhar University, a historic center for Islamic and Arabic learning located in Cairo. He also worked as an Uber driver and had passed Uber's eligibility requirements, which include a criminal background check, according to a spokesman for Uber. The press conference is coming up in 14 minutes, by the way. Lisa Vanderstein says, poor children having a dad like that. Now, I mean, I can't speak to how he was as an everyday dad. I mean, obviously, it's not being a good father when you get yourself thrown in jail for years and years and years. And of course, allegedly throw Molotov cocktails at people. But I mean, one of the neighbors said they were kindly neighbors. So it's Ali El Hilo says looks like he was mentally ill. I don't know if he had any kind of mental health history. Is the family here legally, says Molly Morgan? That I don't know. Yes, I know the courtroom is live, but his court hearing is not until 5:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 Mountain Time. We will be covering the court hearing. As long as there's no overlap, I assume the press conference will end before the court hearing. So we'll be covering the press conference and then the court hearing. And John Doe says he attacked senior citizens. All the wounded were ranging from 52 to 88. Maddie says guy threw his life away for nothing. Oh, by the way, he was here on a B-2 visa, right? I meant to look up what B-2 visa is. It's a non-immigrant visa. Oh, it's a tourism visa. How about that? Visitor visa, B2, tourism. Tourism, vacation, visit with friends or relatives, medical treatment, participation in social events hosted by certain organizations, participation by amateurs in music, sports, or similar events or contests, enrollment in a short recreational course of study. So that, according to the State Department, it's not a work visa. It's a tourism visa. A B2 visa. Our viewer Tony Wilson says, not even a work visa? Thank you, Martin Gingrich, who says, could they send him to that prison in El Salvador? Well, I believe, I'm not sure, Martin, but I believe there are some legal proceedings about sending people to El Salvador. So I don't know. If there are legal proceedings, I would presume that that would impact whether they could send him there, the outcome of those legal proceedings. I'm not sure though, Martin. Now he is, so I just don't know. There's all kinds of legal questions there, so I can't answer that for you. There's the question of whether you can deport someone to El Salvador, but that's different from than imprisoning them for a crime they've been convicted of in the U.S. and imprisoning them in El Salvador. By the way, this is different because I don't believe, in the Trump administration, there was that case of a bunch of Venezuelan migrants were sent to El Salvador, but to be imprisoned, to be put in a prison there. But I don't believe any of them are technically imprisoned there for some crime they were convicted of in the U.S. That's a different case. If somebody's convicted in the U.S. court system and then you say, but instead of going to court to prison in the U.S., we're going to put you in El Salvador. So I'm not aware that something like that has happened yet in this administration. Anyways, this is my I don't claim to have any specialized legal knowledge, but just raising this point. Molly Morgan thinks he needs to be in prison here so we can keep an eye on him. I mean, one argument that we were talking about, I don't know if legally he could be deported instead of put into prison in the U.S., but you would think an argument for keeping him here is that you don't want to deport somebody and have them come back if he has a history of attacking people in the U.S. All right, hey, we have 9 minutes till the press conference. So let me just take a second. I need to take a second and just get ready to show you the press conference, okay? So hang on a moment here. This press conference is coming up, and then we're going to have the court hearing. All right, hold on. I'm getting the press conference ready to show you. So give me a moment here. Give me 1 moment. Thanks for your patience. Let me get the press conference ready to show you. That's there. That's good. Okay. Wonderful. Hold on a moment. I want to get rid of this. We want to do this. Let me just make sure this is working. We're good. That is going to be the press conference right there. You're looking at it, but it hasn't started yet. So, but we have it. We have the live feed. So press conference coming up in about 8 minutes, 7 minutes actually, if it starts on time, where the Boulder DA's office, the Boulder Police Department, and the FBI will be there, and the acting U.S. Attorney J. Bishop Gruel. They're going to announce state and federal charges against the suspect. Maybe they'll give some other updates on the attack as well. But state and federal charges. A quick thank you, by the way, to Kristen Gates. Thank you so much, Kristen, for your support. I really appreciate that. And I want to thank Elaine for your support. And I want to thank our moderators who are here during our coverage. Give me 1 moment here. Thank you to Roberts May Queen, Janet B. Over there on YouTube, Beth Mythical. Thank you. Big Ball of Yarn, Idaho Star, I Got That Fire, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah, and Tariag over there on Twitch. Thank you so much. Margaret Riley, Paul Anderson on Facebook over there. Kay Lowry Body on X, Linda Belk, Larry, Misha. Thanks for moderating over there. And I also want to give a quick shout out to our Facebook subscribers, such as Robert Rial II, Diane Allworth, Rita Evans-Lang. Diane says, I'll never grasp why people can be so hateful. Thanks, Kristen McConnell Gates, for subscribing, and Kay and Margaret as well over there on Facebook. And a quick shout out to our Twitch subscribers who are here, who I can see at least, Soup Z's and Matthew Kohai 3, Wall Street Shaggy, Susan CHF04, Bad Toastery, Bogan 04. Thank you for subscribing. All of our other Twitch subscribers, thank you. All right. So, let me shout out a few YouTube members too, real quick. CAC813, Kevin L, Betty Westbrook, Austin Batman, Cogito Ergo Sum, Wickedest Witch, Carrie Collins, Not A Gray, Robin, Colleen Typon, Raven Knight, TJ Adams, Dean R, Queen Juanita, Jimster, Robin, Carrie Collins, Carrie Poteet, Raven Knight, a few more. Red Squirrel, Jimster, Robin, YouTube That, Hotomech, Sea Chase, Gary Baines, Molly Morgan, Alexander G, and all of our other YouTube members. Thank you. All right. We have 5 minutes till the press conference. 5 minutes till the press conference. We have been giving you updates about the attack in Boulder. After the press conference, I'm assuming it takes less than an hour, we're going to have live coverage of the first court hearing for the suspect. And, hold on a moment here. For those who did not see, thanks also Eamon O'Leary, a couple more members here, Samurai Conscious, Stacey Bashford, Jonathan Sharp, and others, Ethereal Planet. If you didn't see, we were talking about the criminal complaint where authorities gave some more details about what happened yesterday, and they said that among other things, that the suspect had a container near him which had at least 14 unlit Molotov cocktails, in addition to the 2 he threw at people yesterday. Also a backpack weed sprayer. And they said the clear liquid in the glass bottles in the weed sprayer was 87 octane gasoline. So he made these out of gasoline. And he said he researched on YouTube how to make Molotov cocktails. He purchased the ingredients. He constructed them. He traveled to Boulder. He lives about 100 miles away in Colorado Springs. He threw 2 of the cocktails at individuals participating in a pro-Israel gathering. He told authorities he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead. He said he would conduct an attack again. He said he specifically targeted this group that had gathered in Boulder, having learned about them from an online search. He said throughout the interview, he said he hated the Zionist group and did this because he hated this group, and he needed to stop them from taking over our land, which he explained to be Palestine. He said he'd been planning the attack for a year and was waiting until after his daughter graduated to conduct the attack. I guess he wanted to see her graduation or something like that. He said he had a wife and 5 kids in Colorado Springs. He said he left an iPhone at the house hidden in a desk drawer with messages to his family. He said he left a journal inside his house. Also, okay, so we talked about all that. All right. Our viewer, the Ouch Ouch, says throw the book at him. In about 2 minutes, the press conference is going to start. Dead Broke says send her back too. I do not know if his wife and or children were in the country illegally. I have no idea. Maybe that will be discussed here in this press conference, or it will be asked about. Thank you, Janet B., for the gift membership. I appreciate that. Thank you, Naomi Nocturnal, our member. Thanks, Alex Price. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, TJ Adams, our member. Mary McHugh, too, our member. Thank you. One of our viewers said it's regular gas. Is it regular because it has xylene in it? Somebody know? Google says xylene is often found in regular gasoline. I don't know if it was regular gas. I do not know anything about making Molotov cocktails, and I don't wish to know at this point. Oh, regular. I'm sorry. I was thinking of unleaded. Was I thinking of unleaded? I think I was confusing. Regular as in not premium gas. No, not even unleaded. Was I thinking of leaded gas or something? There's leaded and unleaded. Do they even sell leaded gas anymore? Okay, I'm getting all confused. So I think when people were saying regular, they were saying not premium. Is that what people were saying? Yeah, I don't even remember. There's diesel. I don't know. I was getting all confused. I never think about it. Regular is 87. Okay. Regular is 87. I just think about the numbers. 87 is still unleaded, yes. Maybe they stopped selling leaded gas for decades ago. I don't know. Yeah, I always go by the numbers. In my car, there's a certain octane. And so I just look at the octane. We're waiting for this to start, by the way. I'm going to look up when did... In the U.S., the sale of leaded gasoline was banned in 1996, according to the U.S. To the EIA. There you go. It was banned about 30 years ago. All right, so I have this on the screen because this is the feed for the press conference. And it's now 4:31. So I'm going to put up I'm going to say any moment. Any moment. Boulder attack press conference. There you go. Give me one moment here. This will take place in Boulder at the Boulder Police Department. And they will be announcing charges against the suspect. Oh, hold on. I see something here. I might have video for you. I think I have video for you. What is this? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have video I can put on the screen right now, a different angle. Different angle, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. There it is. Via Reuters. Sounds like the audio isn't on there. There is so we have a couple different options. There's the video. Just got it. I think sometimes when hold on. Yeah, sometimes what they do is they turn the camera mic off before it actually starts. I wonder if they'll have anything about his writings. Hey, thanks, Linda Cosma. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Linda. Maybe we'll get some updates on the victims, too. Arturo says, does anything ever start on time these days? A reminder, after the press conference, assuming this works out timing-wise, the first court appearance of the suspect, Mohamed Soliman. Oh, hold on. Here we go, right here. We'll go with this view.
Good afternoon. I am Vicki Migoya, the Public Affairs Officer for FBI Denver. We are here today to provide another update about the ongoing investigation into the attack Sunday on the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder. We're going to have 4 speakers today. I'm going to give you their names and I'm going to spell them. So first you will hear from Acting U.S. Attorney J. Bishop Gruel for the District of Colorado. That is the initial J period, first name Bishop, B as in boy, I-S-H-O-P, Gruel, G-R-E-W-E-L-L. Our second speaker will be 20th Judicial District Attorney Michael Dougherty. That is Michael, the common spelling, and Dougherty is D as in dog, O-U-G-H-E-R-T-Y. Next, you will hear from FBI Denver Special Agent in Charge Mark McCulloch. That is Mark, the common spelling with the K, and McCulloch, M as in Mary, I-C-H-A-L-E-K. The final speaker today will be Boulder Police Chief Stephen Redfern. That is S-T-E-P-H-E-N, and Redfern is R-E-D-F-E-A-R-N. We will take a few questions at the end, and now I'm going to turn the podium over to Mr. Gruel. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Migoya. I'm Bishop Gruel, the Acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Colorado. On behalf of myself, my office, and the entire Department of Justice, I want to express my heartbreak and my support for the victims, their families, and the community of Boulder. I pray for those families, as well as everyone in Boulder, Colorado, and the nation who woke up this morning worried about themselves, their loved ones, and not feeling safe in their own communities because of yesterday's attack. I assure you, are here for you, and we are taking action. I want to thank the first responders, citizens and law enforcement alike, who worked to quickly end this violent attack, save lives, and tend to those who were injured. I also want to thank our law enforcement partners at Boulder Police, including Chief Redfern, the FBI, including Special Agent in Charge Michalak, and the Boulder DA's office, including DA Michael Dougherty. They worked hand in hand with my office as the matter was thoroughly investigated and prepared for charges. And I want to thank our partners in D.C., including Attorney General Bondi, Director Kash Patel, and Assistant Attorney General in charge of Civil Rights, Harmeet Dhillon, for their support. My office and AAG Dhillon were in contact yesterday throughout the day, which helped lead to the federal charge that we're announcing today. My office has charged Mohamed Soliman, age 45, with the commission of a hate crime under 18 U.S.C. Section 249. When that offense includes attempted murder, the statutory maximum federal sentence is life in prison. No one should ever be subjected to violence of any kind. But our laws recognize that such violence is particularly pernicious when someone is targeted because of their race, their religion, or their national origin. According to our complaint and the charges brought by DA Dougherty's office, Mr. Soliman stated that he had been planning this attack for a year. And he acted because he hated what he called the Zionist group. But what the charges allege that he did was to throw Molotov cocktails at a group of men and women, some of them in their late 80s, burning them as they peacefully walked on a Sunday to draw attention to Israeli hostages held in Gaza. And when he was interviewed about the attack, he said he wanted them all to die. He had no regrets, and he would go back and do it again. He said that he had previously tried to purchase a firearm, but resorted to the Molotov cocktails when he could not purchase a gun because he was not a legal citizen. I remind you that Mr. Soliman is presumed innocent until proven guilty. My office and our partners hope justice will help heal the people in this community and in the communities throughout the country shaken by yesterday's attack. We fully intend to hold Mr. Soliman accountable for his actions, and these charges are the first step. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to DA Michael Doherty.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Doherty. I'm the District Attorney for Boulder County. I appreciate the members of the media who are here today so we can help provide this update to a grieving and traumatized community. What you see here today is us standing shoulder to shoulder, ensuring that justice is done in response to this tragic and terrible attack. We stand united in denouncing hate, terror, and violence in this community. We are united in condemning acts of anti-Semitism, hate, and violence, and we're also united in a strong response to this horrific attack. I stand with this community and the people of the state of Colorado against hate and terror. And we are united in our commitment, both at the federal level and the state level, in pursuing and securing justice for the victims of this mass attack and for the communities that we serve. Boulder is a beautiful and special place, but we're not immune from mass violence or hate crimes, including violent acts of anti-Semitism that impact far too many communities across this country. And yesterday afternoon, on a beautiful day here in Colorado, a number of people participated in a peaceful walk and gathering on Pearl Street here in Boulder. It is a place where a lot of people gather every day. And the ones who join in this peaceful gathering are now the victims of a senseless, unjustified, and horrific mass attack. And to all the victims, their loved ones, and to this community, I promise you that each one of us up here today will work tirelessly to ensure that justice is done and the defendant is held fully accountable. I want to recognize, as the U.S. Attorney did, the response by community members who helped in the minutes immediately following the attack and came to render aid to victims who had suffered through a horrific attack upon them. Also, I want to recognize the courage and the rapid response by the Boulder Police Department, who once again were called to respond to a truly horrific attack upon innocent members of our community and responded without a second of delay. I will highlight for you that there were 16 unused Molotov cocktails that were recovered by law enforcement in the hours after the incident took place. 16. So I really want to thank the Boulder Police Department and their law enforcement responders, as well as the first responders who provided medical aid to the victims. But that rapid response with the recovery of the 16 unused Molotov cocktails, I think, speaks for itself. Our office and the U.S. Attorney's Office will be working closely together and in coordination with one another to ensure that the defendant is held fully accountable. As you heard from the U.S. Attorney, the U.S. Attorney's Office will be prosecuting the hate crime against the defendant. Our office will be prosecuting the attempted murder charges and related charges at the state level. This approach will accurately reflect the actions the defendant is alleged to have taken and the harms that he caused. It will allow us to secure a verdict, an outcome, a sentence, whereby he'll be held fully accountable. It's been done, and by it I mean federal and state prosecutions jointly, has been done in other cases, most recently the Club Q mass shooting down in Colorado Springs. At the time the arrest affidavit and warrant were filed with the state court yesterday, there were 8 victims identified, and I'll touch briefly now on the charges that were filed at the state level, as well as the possible sentences he faces if convicted on those charges. So there were 16 counts of attempted murder in the first degree. 8 of those counts are for attempted murder with intent and after deliberation. The other 8 counts are attempted murder with extreme indifference. So 16 counts total. If the defendant's convicted and those counts are running consecutive to one another, he would face a maximum of 384 years in state prison. He's also charged with 2 counts of use of an incendiary device. If convicted of those charges and they run consecutive, he would face a maximum sentence of 48 years. He's also charged with 16 other counts of attempted use of an incendiary device. And again, if convicted and if they run consecutive, the maximum on those counts would be 192 years. So 384 years on the attempted murder, 48 on the use of the Molotov cocktails, and then the attempted use would be 192 years. The judge set a $10 million cash-only bond on the state charges. As you are aware, he's going to be going before the judge this afternoon at the jail. I believe that is scheduled for 3:30, but I rely on the sheriff's office to communicate with members of the media of the exact time. Thanks to the investigation by federal, state, and local partners, and I just want to highlight for you, this is a horrific attack. But as district attorney, when I walk into this building and I see the FBI, Boulder PD, and all the law enforcement partners working, it's the exact response I hope to see. The teamwork they demonstrate, the work they put into it. If you were downstairs right now, you'd see incredible law enforcement officers and investigators working calmly, professionally, and tirelessly to ensure we get all the information we need to get the right outcome in the criminal cases that the U.S. Attorney's Office and my office will prosecute. Through their work, we've now identified 4 additional victims, so there's now a total of 12 victims. And as you'll hear from the FBI Special Agent in charge, we're going to continue to encourage victims and witnesses to come forward and contact law enforcement. But we now have 12 victims, and on the later this week, we'll be filing formal charges against him. That's our normal process. So the filing of formal charges by the district attorney's office will reflect 12 victims, and if more come forward, additional victims as well. On my final note, what I want to stress is this community has experienced too many tragedies: fires, floods, and mass attacks. But each time I've seen this great community respond with strength, resilience, and support for one another. I trust and hope that that will happen again now. That for the many members of the community who have come forward before to help one another, to support one another, to comfort one another, that will happen again today and in the weeks, months going forward. That once again our community will rally to restore peace and to bring support and comfort one another during this dark hour. As your district attorney, I want to remind the members of the media and the community that the defendant's innocent unless and until proven guilty, and the charges are merely allegations. I'm going to turn it over to the special agent in charge of the FBI, and then we're happy to take questions after each one of us is done. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Mark McCulloch, Special Agent in charge of the FBI's Denver field office. I want to provide a quick investigative update. The FBI has been here on the scene in Boulder for the past 24 hours, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with the Boulder Police Department and our partners. Their heroic and swift actions clearly saved lives. As mentioned, there were 16 unused Molotov cocktails within arm's reach of the subject at the time of his arrest. So there is no question that the first responders saved lives and prevented further victims from being injured. And I think the fact that we have both federal and state charges within 24 hours of this attack is a testament to the strength of the partnerships, the professionalism of the investigators, and our commitment to the community and to each other to pursue justice. We continue to support the victims, their families, and the greater community with personnel and resources. Our hearts go out to the victims, and we want you to know that we are committed to being here for you. Since 2 o'clock yesterday, more than 30 special agents, intelligence experts, and professional staff have deployed to provide forensic, investigative, and crisis management support, as well as additional resources are being surged from other field offices and at our headquarters in Washington, D.C., and they're on the way. While at this time it appears the perpetrator acted alone, we do continue to investigate all possibilities and pursue all investigative leads. If we uncover evidence that others knew of this attack or supported the subject in this attack, rest assured that we will aggressively move to hold them accountable to the fullest extent of the law. Since the investigation began 24 hours ago, the FBI has conducted 44 witness interviews. We've executed search warrants on vehicles, property, and digital devices. We've deployed our full evidence response team both to Boulder at the main crime scene and the execution of a search warrant at a residence tied to the subject in Colorado Springs. Members of the ERT worked through the night to gather all evidence so that Pearl Street could swiftly be reopened this morning. We've deployed victim specialists to hospitals and assigned one to each and every victim that's been identified to date. We've set up a digital media tip line. We've deployed a mobile command post for information sharing and evidence control, and we continue to canvass for witnesses, additional victims, and camera footage. We ask that you call us at 1-800-CALL-FBI if you have any information about the events that transpired yesterday. If you saw something, if you heard something, if you have information, our investigators want to hear from you. If you have multimedia evidence, whether that is photos, social media posts, or videos related to the attack, please visit the site that we've established, and you can provide your information at fbi.gov/Boulder attack. We at the FBI are not tracking any credible threats to the Boulder community at this time. However, if you see something suspicious, we urge you to call 911. The FBI takes seriously its mission to protect the American people of the United States, both nationally as well as here and in Boulder. Hate-fueled acts of violence have no place in our community, and we will use every tool and resource available to hold those who commit such acts fully accountable. And I'll turn it over to Chief Redfern.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Again, my name is Stephen Redfern. I have the honor to serve as the police chief here in Boulder. I want to give a few updates from the city and the police department before we take some questions. So today, in the aftermath of this heinous terrorist attack in our city, I again want to start with thanking our partners. I think we've all alluded to the importance of partnerships. I can tell you, as I was rushing to the scene yesterday, one of the first or second calls I made was to the special agent in charge, because no matter what this ended up being, I knew we would need help. And once again, the FBI, all of our state, local, and federal partners have stepped up, and we are absolutely in a really good place for 24 hours into this investigation, in my opinion. Michael Doherty alluded to it, but the work that I've seen in this building and out on the street in the last 24 hours is remarkable. And every single person working on this investigation is doing their job above and beyond to bring justice to these victims, including the men that stand behind me here, and I'm grateful. The scene, as you may know, around 2 in the morning, we released the scene. So as of this time, we have no active closures in downtown Boulder. We have no areas closed off. We spent an extensive amount of time yesterday up until the early morning hours today with bomb dogs, our bomb squads, ensuring that there were no other threats in the area, and people were allowed after midnight to go back in, get vehicles, and businesses have been allowed to reopen if they so choose. I can tell you this morning I walked down Pearl Street with members of my team. I interacted with a lot of business owners, community out there, and the way I felt leaving there was I was heartened. I was heartened by the resilience of our community, the positive attitude that people had, the understanding of the inconvenience of yesterday with businesses having to close, and really I walked out of that thinking, we're going to be okay. Once again, as a community, we're going to recover after coming together. A little bit more on community. So we are aware of events this week. We're aware of things coming up in the next, we're looking 7 to 10 days out at other events, and we are going to ensure, along with our partners, that we have adequate coverage, law enforcement coverage, security at any event that's taking place this week. We want to ensure that people feel comfortable and safe in this community gathering and remembering what happened, as well as any other planned events that we have. We will be relying upon our partners, such as the State Patrol, to ensure that we have proper coverage where people can feel safe. Before this attack, we had the Boulder Police Department, the City of Boulder, had very strong relationships with our Jewish community. We even have an officer assigned as a Jewish community liaison with Boulder PD. Those relationships have paid off dividends during this attack, and I know going forward in the aftermath, we're going to continue to work with our community. I've been in contact via phone, email, and text throughout the day and last night with members of our Jewish community. Myself and the district attorney will be leaving shortly to have a meeting with community leaders from our Jewish community as well. The message there, the bottom line message, is we want everyone to feel safe. We will not condone these types of attacks and acts in our community. I will reiterate what was prior said. It is never an inconvenience for someone to call the police if they feel uncomfortable about a situation, if they see something odd, if they see a person acting in a suspicious manner. Let us come out and let us determine if there is some validity to people's suspicions. That's why we are here. So please call us if you see something. Literally, the old see something, say something adage applies here. Please call us if there's anything that's making you feel uncomfortable in the community. And lastly, I just want to say again, we have been contacted, the city and the police department from all over the world, with outpouring of support, messages of support, and I want to thank you. It matters. It makes a difference going forward. So I appreciate all of that. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to our public information officers for some questions.
All right, I will try to call on people for questions, and I will repeat the question, hopefully, so everybody can hear it, and then turn it over to our experts for answers. Yeah, Tony.
Chief, or anybody up there, do we have any new video showing how he walked in with these 16, 18, 19 Molotov cocktails? That's not a one-walk trip. Anything you've been able to discover to show how they got there?
So the question is, do we have any new video evidence about how he entered the area with the Molotov cocktails he had?
I'm behind you. Thank you for the question. We are, as I speak, we have teams of detectives partnered with FBI on Pearl Street, going business to business, door to door. That we're piecing together a timeline using video, license plate readers, all of those things, relying heavily on our federal partners. As of right now, I have not been made aware that we actually have video of him carrying anything into that area. Obviously, we're looking at that, and if someone were to have that video, please contact the 1-800 number that the special agent in charge mentioned, or you can contact us as well at BPD. There's a high likelihood it's out there, and I don't know the existence of it yet.
Yeah, Dave.
Yes, can you tell us any updates on the 8 original victims, and then any more information on the 4 people that you've identified as well?
The question is if we can provide additional information about the 8 victims that we previously mentioned and the new 4 that came up today.
Thank you. Regarding the victims, prior to this press conference, I received an update that we still have 2 victims in the hospital. I believe those are the 2 that were flown to University Hospital in Aurora. I believe the victims, the additional victims that we learned of today, the reason we didn't know about them until today was their injuries, thankfully, were more minor in nature. They've come forward to be interviewed and things, and then we realized that they did have injuries. So we're counting everyone who received any sort of injury in this attack in that number. So as far as I'm aware right now, 2 people still in the hospital, and again, our thoughts are with them as they recover.
Yeah, right here.
Hi. Do you know how many people were in the original peaceful march from the group that was there originally?
So the question is, do we know how many people were participating in the group's peaceful march on Sunday?
I do not have an exact number of the people that were there for the peaceful gathering. What I can say, though, is when we responded to the scene, there were probably 20 to 30 people in that vicinity. Some of them were witnesses. Not all of them were there specifically to take part in that weekly gathering, and so I don't know that. But in the area, we had 20 to 30 folks right there at the courthouse with a lot of other people coming and going with the businesses right there.
Yeah, over here.
For the U.S. Attorney, this was initially classified as, by the FBI as a terrorism investigation. Is the hate crime charge a terrorism charge, or did something change in the charging decision?
So the question is for the U.S. Attorney's Office about the fact that yesterday terrorism was mentioned and we see a hate crime charge today, and can we explain that?
Yeah, so we've moved swiftly to charge quickly just to send the message to the community that no acts of anti-Semitism are going to be tolerated and there are severe consequences. Just because there's only one charge that has been made so far doesn't mean that we're not considering other charges that could come in the future.
Yes.
Can we get some clarity, Chief? We're hearing UC Health says they have 3 victims there. Is it 3 or 2?
Question is about victims at UC Health.
I don't have that clarity that you're asking for regarding the number. We've been told 2. It's possible it's 3. We may be not having updates on if people have been released. We can absolutely follow up with that number. We can firm it up after this and put that out.
In the back with the hat.
Was there any prior knowledge of Soliman as a potential threat before yesterday?
So the question is, was there any prior knowledge that the perpetrator was a threat?
Regarding the suspect, obviously we're still looking into him, his whereabouts, all of that. He was not on our radar in Boulder. We had no prior contacts with him here. I can't speak to his criminal history. I'm not sure if the special agent in charge has anything to add, but this was not someone that we were aware of prior.
Yes.
Mr. Soliman has a wife, multiple children back at his home in Colorado Springs. Given his status as being here illegally for the last 2 or 3 years, is there any knowledge of how they've been cooperating and what happens to them moving forward given the situation for his citizenship?
The question is about the suspect's family and their status and what might happen to them next.
As far as the family, as I mentioned, we executed a search warrant at the residence in Colorado Springs last night, and the family was cooperative for that. Regarding their status, I would just defer you to the Department of Homeland Security.
Sir, can you talk about what you were looking for and what you found in that search warrant?
So it was part of this investigation. It's a logical part of our investigation to see if there's additional evidence there. Evidence was recovered, including digital evidence, and we're reviewing that now to determine, as the acting U.S. Attorney said, if additional charges are warranted down the road.
Was he on your radar as a terrorism task force, as a person or as a potential suspect?
So the question was the subject on our radar locally as part of our joint terrorism task force, and the answer is no.
Okay, thank you very much for being here today. Those are all the questions we're going to take.
I was just curious about the incendiary. What are they made up of? Are you allowed to talk about what they're made up of, or what is this actual devices that were used?
Yeah, we'll answer one more.
Sorry.
So last question on the specifics on the incendiary devices. There were really 2 chunks of incendiary devices that were recovered. We've referred to Molotov cocktails, which are like glass jars with material in them that are combustible, flammable, like gasoline, and then a rag that's used with a fire to ignite them and throw them. In addition to that, it appeared he had a backpack for like a weed killer, but that contained flammable liquid in it as well.
How many were used?
All right, so later this afternoon, I can tell you that the U.S. Attorney's Office will have a brief news release that will be made public. We don't anticipate another large media briefing at any time in the future, but the prosecutor's offices, both the district attorney as well as the U.S. Attorney's Office, will have updates for the media as their cases proceed. And now at this time, our principals here do have another meeting to attend, as they referred to. So thank you very much for coming today.
All right, so that was the press conference, and the court hearing, the court appearance is coming up in 27 minutes. So let me change the headline. We'll talk about the press conference, but let me just change the headline here to Boulder attack suspect. Boulder attack suspect court hearing at 5:30 ET, 3:30 MT. Okay. So we will be covering the court hearing. We're going to have video of the court hearing coming up. Maybe I'll say this. Coming up, Boulder suspect court appearance. All right. They did mention the court appearance at the start of the press conference briefly. So what did you guys think? By the way, so just to go over, I don't know that there was a lot of new information in that press conference, but they did say he had 16 unused. They found 16 extra unused Molotov cocktails. He's been charged with 16 counts of attempted murder with a maximum between them of 384 years in prison, 2 counts of use of an incendiary device with a maximum of 48 years, and 16 counts of attempted use of an incendiary device with a max of 192 years. That's just the state charges. He's charged with he's facing federal hate crime charge, possibly more federal charges. So he is facing federal and state charges. Plank says, bro was ready for war. Victoria Estrida says, that is terrifying. He also, remember, had that sprayer thing. Was it a weed sprayer? Backpack sprayer thing. Filled with flammable liquid, as Fantasy says. That was described in the where is it here? In the criminal complaint, it was described as a backpack weed sprayer. The criminal complaint said the liquid in the Molotov cocktails in the weed sprayer was 87 octane gasoline. Pre-breakfast banana said his life is over. Prison for life on top of life. So we are going to have for you in 23 minutes, we are going to see the Boulder suspect's first court appearance. He is in the Boulder County Jail. And, I can get the video for that on the screen in a second. Hold on, let me do that. What I'm going to do is turn this off. Where is it here? There it is. Hold on. Let me just do something real quick. I'll take some of your comments, but we have the court appearance coming up. Okay, let me get rid of this. Then we'll do this. We need source. Court. Oops. Making this easier on myself here. I can show you the courtroom video right now. Here it is. There it is. But the hearing doesn't start until his appearance is coming up in 22 minutes. In Boulder. Also, there was that interesting question about that this was called a terror attack by the FBI yesterday, but they have not been charged. He has not been charged with terrorism yet. So he is charged with a federal hate crime. The acting U.S. attorney said he could be facing future charges. The thing about that question is, it's a little, so one answer might be, well, when the FBI director says terror attack, he might not mean terrorism in the legal sense. The word terrorism, different people use it differently. I don't know. I'm just saying it's an interesting question. So, but he has not been charged with a terrorism charge. Also, that was asked about the status of his family, the wife and 5 children of the suspect. The suspect was here from Egypt. He entered the country in 2022. He had overstayed his visa, according to DHS. We did not get any kind of clarification from the press conference on whether his wife and children are here legally. And what might happen to them. It was said that they cooperated last night during the search at his house. Maybe what I'll do is I'll move this live thing down here. Pre-breakfast banana, by the way, says his poor kid's so sad for everyone. Yes, and as Kerry Poteet says, he was here on a B2 visa, which is a tourist visa. We looked that up before. The Department of Homeland Security said that he was here. Where is it here? Oh, hold on a second. I have it. Yes, he was living in a B2, here in a B2 visa. And a B2 visa is a tourism visa according to the State Department website. It is not a business visa, it is a tourism visa. Now it says Boulder Jail up there. So some of you guys have maybe seen. Oh, by the way, a quick thanks to Loki for the gift memberships, to Carms, our new member, to Ronald Kame and Linda Cosma for your support. I really appreciate that. TJ Adams, our member, thank you. Also, thanks to JCon for subscribing on Twitch. Thank you, JCon. And shout out as we wait for this. Court appearance coming up. Shout out to our moderators. Janet B's moderating on YouTube, Beth Mythical on YouTube, and by the way, our viewer Ben in Glitch says they have a courtroom inside of the jail so they don't have to deal with transporting. This is the Boulder County Jail. It says Colorado Judicial Branch, Boulder County Jail. So I guess that sounds right. Which is interesting. Yes, there is a courtroom at Boulder County Jail. Because I'm reading it online right now. I was trying to find more information about that. But according to the internet... Yes, yeah, exactly. The courtroom is in the Boulder County Jail. That's from the Boulder County Sheriff's Office. The courtroom is in the Boulder County Jail. That's where he's staying, and the courtroom is in the jail. Interesting. Oh, thanks to our other moderators, too. I said Beth Mythical and Robert's May Queen over there on YouTube. Janet B over on Twitch. I Got That Fire and Matthew Kohai 3 on Facebook. Kay Lowry, Body, Margaret Riley, Paul Anderson, and over there on X, Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha moderate for us there. By the way, I think the sound is well, hold on. Yeah, they don't... They'll turn the sound on when the hearing starts. But hold on, let me just make sure. Hold on. Yeah, I have all the sound on, so we're just not... You're not hearing anything because They don't have it turned on there. So are we going to see him in this right here where it says Boulder Jail? I don't know which one of these we'll see him in. What I can do is when it starts, if we're only seeing a couple of these, if only a couple of these rectangles are being used, I can make it bigger. I was having an issue with my headphones before, so hopefully I can hear everything okay. My earbuds, as one of the viewers said. All right, 15 minutes until the court hearing. 15 minutes. Now, Silent Owl Scribe said it's a bond hearing today. That might be correct. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what they're talking about. But according to the county sheriff, according to the county sheriff, it is a court proceeding. They said in the press conference he has a $10 million cash bail. But I don't know. I mean, that was said in the press conference. I don't know if that's a joint federal and state cash bail. But they did say $10 million cash bail, cash bond. I don't know. But they talked about that in the press conference. Dolores Wilson thinks he should have no bail. I don't know if maybe in that jurisdiction, like you have to offer some sort of bail. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to take some more comments here. I'm going to bring you any updates if I see them. Any new info on victims? According to the police in the press conference, 2 of the victims are still hospitalized. The rest are no longer hospitalized. And there are now 12 victims. There were 4 new victims that authorities found out about who had minor injuries. Fantasy says violent attack and he said he would do it again. No bail. For the moment, do you want me to make it just bigger? I mean, there's really no need to have... I can just make this whole thing a bit bigger for you. Even bigger than that. Well, that's fine for now. Ronan says ICE can put a detainer on him. Mia Moore Christo says he is too risky a threat to be out on bail. It's a good question why there is, in theory, $10 million bail. I don't know. Now, Reuters, hold on. Now, what is this here? In the criminal complaint, it said something about this. I think. Let's see here. Where is it? I can't find it. Reuters said, according to Reuters, they said the suspect who was being detained in lieu of a $10 million bail. Oh, I guess that means he hasn't paid it, according to official records. So again, the bail is $10 million cash. So he could, in theory, get out. As far as I understand it, if he came up with $10 million cash, he could get out. Thank you, Susanna Branch, for being a member. Oh, Great Awakening mentioned something that I should mention to you as we wait for this hearing to start in 10 minutes. Oh. I don't have the Boulder Police Department affidavit. Do I? That's interesting. So I would love to get that. One of our viewers mentioned that the New York Times said, according to a Boulder Police Department affidavit, the suspect told a detective he used Molotov cocktails because he'd not been able to buy a gun because of his immigration status. So he said he had learned to shoot a gun in a concealed carry class, but couldn't buy one because of his immigration status. I have not seen that document. I'd love to get that document. The Boulder County affidavit. Boulder Police Department affidavit. Unless I missed it in the... I have the criminal complaint, but that's not from the Boulder Police Department. Yeah, the one I have is for the FBI. If somebody has the Boulder Police Department affidavit, I'd love to see it. Texas Tiff, thank you, says a bond... Oh, hold on a second. Says a bond is state. However, if the feds are involved, they will place U.S. Marshal hold on him, meaning he cannot get out even if bond is paid. That's what Texas Tiff thinks, that the federal government would not let him out and that the bail is the state charges. You might be right. I'm not sure. Hang on a moment here. Let me just do something real quick. Guys, I think that the suspect is going to be on this camera. So what I think I'm going to do is, get another video up and do this and get it big for you. Let's do that for the moment. And if I have to go to the widescreen, I'll do that. But Brax thinks the feds were involved immediately. He ain't getting out. So again, my best guess right now, because I'm seeing another feed on it, The Reuters feed has this highlighted, so I'm guessing he'll appear right there. Move this down a little bit. About 6 minutes until his hearing is supposed to start, guys. 6 minutes. In case you missed it before, we talked about how, according to the criminal complaint, the suspect told authorities that he researched on YouTube how to make Molotov cocktails. He purchased the ingredients to do so, and he constructed them. He traveled to Boulder with the Molotov cocktails in his vehicle. He said he threw 2 of them at individuals participating in a pro-Israel gathering. He told authorities that he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead, says the criminal complaint. He said he would do it again. He would conduct an attack again. He targeted the Zionist group that had gathered in Boulder, having learned about them from an online search, he said. After the incident, he said he knew they planned to meet on Sunday, and he showed up 5 minutes before their meeting time and waited for them. Throughout the interview, he said he hated the Zionist group and did this because he hated the group and needed to stop them from taking over our land, which he explained to be Palestine. He said he had been planning the attack for a year and was waiting until his daughter graduated to conduct the attack. And the New York Times is reporting that, according to a Boulder Police Department affidavit, he said he had learned to shoot a gun and he used Molotov cocktails because he could not buy a gun due to his immigration status. Did somebody see him? Irish Sweetness said, there he is. I wasn't looking. Volume on there. Volume on there. He's in that room to the right. One of our viewers said he's in the room to the right. And they will be turning on their volume when the appearance starts. Jerry says, I saw him. He's in the back room to the right. I saw his bandaged head. Irish Sweetness says, with a thing around his head. All right, they're looking in there. Looks like they're getting ready. Maybe. Oh, I'm going to put this on the screen. Where's the text thing here? All right, I'm going to change this to any moment. Soon. Any moment now. Boulder suspect court appearance. Martin Gingrich says, did he overstay his visa? Yes. How could he plan a year? Well, he's been in the country since 2022. He did overstay his visa, according to the DHS. I don't know his whole I don't know his whole visa history. Maybe we can go over that after his hearing, what's been reported on that. We are waiting any moment now. Yes, the press conference, if you missed it, we already covered the press conference. You can rewind and watch it. We already covered that. So feel free to rewind and check that out. He was living in Colorado Springs, about 100 miles away from Boulder. Kenneth Smith, our viewer, says, I'd bet his family knew something. That I do not know. Mason D says it's just sad all the way around. Thank you so much, Kerry Poteet, who says if he was here on an expired tourist visa, how was he employed? What of the background checks employers do? It's a good question. I don't know. The visa he was here was reportedly a B2 visa, which is a tourist visa. Now, he did apply for asylum at some point. So I don't know if he got some documentation that he had applied for asylum and that helped him get employment. I'm not sure. Oh, that's him. I think I just saw him stand up. Isn't that him on the right there? I think I just saw him stand up right here with like a bandage on his head. Devotee says people hire visa overstays all the time. TJ and Thomas Darwin saw it too. Yes, he was born in 1979, Rusty Reed. All right, any moment now, this is starting. So I assume he'll come out of the room. Again, no volume at the moment. They'll turn it on when he comes out. I see he's standing there. I believe that's him on the right, standing next to the officer. So we're about to see this happen. Elliot Messar viewer thinks the immigration status is something Uber wouldn't check. I do not know. Davmax says he lived in a rundown-looking duplex. I have not seen pictures of where he lived. Oh, Suzanne Berry says he got a work visa when he applied for asylum. That's what Suzanne said. She saw in the New York Times. I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that. Anyways, we can talk about that after. All right. I think, is he coming out now? There he is. I think that's him. Is that him right there? On the right. Is that him? On the right. Mohamed Soliman. He's coming out, I think. There he is. That's him, right? Am I right?
Right. Good afternoon. 1 second for the mutes.
I'm going to leave it like this.
Good afternoon. We are on the record at this time in 25 CR 785. This is the matter concerning Mohamed Soliman. Mr. Soliman, are you able to hear me through the microphones over you? Good. May I have appearances of counsel, please?
Ken Kuffner, appearing for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Catherine Harold on behalf of Mr. Soliman, who is present in custody.
Mr. Soliman, good afternoon. This is the first advisement, and I have just a couple of matters that I need to cover with you. I'm going to ask many of the questions that I have to your counsel, but I need to first address you directly and make sure that you have received and that you understand the protection order that the court just issued. It keeps you from contacting any of the people who are named as the victims in the alleged offense. Did you receive the protection order? Do you understand it? Thank you. Ms. Harold, I know that Mr. Soliman has seen a video that addresses his rights during the case. Do you waive further formal advisement of those rights, or would you like him further advised?
I waive any further reading or advisement, Your Honor.
Thank you. With respect to bond, the court previously set bond on the written affidavit. It is set at $10 million cash only. The court has not done any non-monetary conditions. I'd like to know if either party wants to address either the amount or any non-monetary conditions of bond at this time. Mr. Kuffner?
Your Honor, I am going to reserve any bond argument for the future, so I don't have any response with regards to non-monetary conditions either.
Judge, we are fine addressing it at filing of charges.
Okay, so no changes to the bond at this time, remains $10,000 cash only. And with respect to the filing of charges, is it accurate that the parties believed that the appropriate day was Thursday afternoon back in this courtroom?
Judge, we would jointly ask for Thursday, June 5th at 3:30.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense is available at that time.
Thursday, June 5th at 3:30 back here in this physical courtroom for filing of charges. Anything further from the people?
No, Your Honor.
May I just have one moment to speak with Mr. Kuffner?
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. In that case, that concludes today's proceedings. I will see you again on Thursday at 3:30 in the afternoon for filing of charges. Mr. Soliman, thank you for appearing.
All right, I'm going to come back there and talk to him right there for a second.
So I think at one point maybe she said 10,000 and meant to say 10 million. Is that what happened? I'm a little confused, but again, at one point she said 10 million, and that's the number I've heard. And then at one point she said 10,000, but I think maybe that was just her misspeaking. Chat, what do you think? Yes? Yeah. Because it's all been reported as 10 million, and then I think she initially said 10 million, and then she said 10,000. So I think the 10,000 was an accident. Yeah, everybody's saying she misspoke. Anyways, you saw him there, so wasn't, you know, I guess they're talking about, there's another hearing coming up. Did they say Thursday or something? I am not a lawyer. But that's what's been reported today, that it's a $10 million cash bond. Oh, now somebody did she say that? I'm a little confused. Some of our viewers are saying that you need 10% of the bond to get out, to post bond. Alex Price, thanks, Alex. Alex thinks that 10 million is probably so rare she misspoke. Did she say 10%? I might have missed that. I was dealing also with like getting the different camera angles on. Did she say at some point 10%? Which would be $1 million in cash. I don't know though. I didn't hear it. Anyways, she did. GH fan says she did not say it. Some of our viewers think you only need 10%. Yeah, I don't know how much collateral he would need to get the 10 million. Mason said she never said anything like that. So, but just I'm seeing online, some sites online say that generally, typically bail bondsmen charge 10% of the total bail amount. That is a non-refundable charge. So if that's correct, I'm seeing several sites say that. That would mean to get a bail bondsman to put up the 10 million bond, you would have to pay $1 million to the bail bondsman, and they would keep that. Now, Mason D says not here, so maybe there's something in Colorado where it's different. I don't know Colorado law. So that I don't know. And I also don't know if... do you guys want to hear that again? Do you want to hear it was a short hearing. I can play it again. Somebody said play it again. Do you want to hear it again? If people want to hear it again, I'll play it again. Let's see. Enough people are saying yes. All right, let's just replay what we just heard. Again, I'm not going to try to analyze this because I am not a legal expert, but enough people are saying they want to hear it one more time. This was pretty short. So let me just throw it on the screen for you guys. Give me a moment here. I'm going to replay the hearing right now. I'm replaying it right now for you. I just need a moment to get it. All right, here it is. So what I need to do is do this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. Okay, now here is what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to replay this right now. And what I need to do is make this replay of hearing. Replay of court hearing. All right, this is a replay of the court hearing, and I'll know what I'll do. I'll put this over this. Ooh, there you go. Replay of court hearing. Okay, here it is. I am replaying it for you right now. Here is the short court hearing. On the right, Mohamed Soliman. He's coming out, I think. There he is. That's him, right? Am I right?
Right. Good afternoon. 1 second for the mutes.
I'm going to leave it like this.
Good afternoon. We are on the record at this time in 25 CR 785. This is the matter concerning Mohamed Soliman. Mr. Soliman, are you able to hear me through the microphones over you? Good. May I have appearances of counsel, please?
Ken Kuffner, appearing for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Catherine Harold on behalf of Mr. Soliman, who is present in custody.
Mr. Soliman, good afternoon. This is the first advisement, and I have just a couple of matters that I need to cover with you. I'm going to ask many of the questions that I have to your counsel, but I need to first address you directly and make sure that you have received and that you understand the protection order that the court just issued. It keeps you from contacting any of the people who are named as the victims in the alleged offense. Did you receive the protection order? Do you understand it? Thank you. Ms. Harold, I know that Mr. Soliman has seen a video that addresses his rights during the case. Do you waive further formal advisement of those rights, or would you like him further advised?
I waive any further reading or advisement, Your Honor.
Thank you. With respect to bond, the court previously set bond on the written affidavit. It is set at $10 million cash only. The court has not done any non-monetary conditions. I'd like to know if either party wants to address either the amount or any non-monetary conditions of bond at this time. Mr. Kuffner?
Your Honor, I am going to reserve any bond argument for the future, so I don't have any response with regards to non-monetary conditions either.
Judge, we are fine addressing it at filing of charges.
Okay, so no changes to the bond at this time, remains $10,000 cash only. And with respect to the filing of charges, is it accurate that the parties believed that the appropriate day was Thursday afternoon back in this courtroom?
Judge, we would jointly ask for Thursday, June 5th at 3:30.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense is available at that time.
Thursday, June 5th at 3:30 back here in this physical courtroom for filing of charges. Anything further from the people?
No, Your Honor.
May I just have one moment to speak with Mr. Kuffner?
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. In that case, that concludes today's proceedings. I will see you again on Thursday at 3:30 in the afternoon for filing of charges. Mr. Soliman, thank you for appearing.
Yeah, so she misspoke when she said 10,000. She initially said 10 million, and she meant to just say it's still 10 million. And she said 10,000. She just misspoke. It's 10 million. 10 million is the bond amount. 10 million cash, I believe it is, right? Anyways, yeah, no change, as Batman says, no change to bond at this time. Then she misspoke the amount. So there. What is on his head? I believe that it looked like what was on his head was just like maybe a hair covering. Maybe. Well, actually, I don't know, because he had a bandage on him. In the mugshot, there's a bandage. I don't know if that's a bandage or just a hair covering. I can't tell. It's one of the two. Maybe that's part of his bandage. Yeah, here is I'll show you the mugshot is right here. There's the mugshot. So, but that doesn't go on top of his head. So I can't tell you. Maybe one Drakovich says it might just be holding his bandage up. Pat thinks it's gauze to hold the bandage on. So people, our chat thinks it's the bandage. Some of our viewers thinks it's a spit mask so he doesn't spit on people. I don't know. And I also wanted to mention, some people had said that the people were talking about, some of our viewers were asking about his visa status. So yesterday, Bill Malugin of Fox News reported yesterday that he came to the country in August of 2022 on a B1, B2 visa. Although today I saw a report that it was a B2 visa. And he was authorized to stay through February 26, 2023, but he overstayed and never left. Bill Malugin of Fox News reported that in September of 2022, about a month after he got here, he filed some sort of claim with potentially an asylum claim. And he got work authorization, reportedly, in March of 2023. And his work authorization expired on 2025. So that was a report from Fox News' Bill Malugin, that he got a work authorization during the Biden administration in March of 2023. Why? I'm not sure how that all played out. Maybe because he applied for asylum. I don't know. And that his work authorization applied on 2025. That was a Fox News Bill Malugin report yesterday. But I don't know that there's a detailed accounting. Oh, yes. Tricia McLaughlin of DHS said he did enter the country in August 2022 on a B2 visa, which is a tourism visa, not a work visa. That B2 visa expired in February 2023. He did file for asylum in September of 2022. I guess it has not been confirmed that I've seen that he had some sort of work authorization for the last couple of years. So I haven't seen a detailed accounting of all that. It's possible I just missed it somewhere. I'll check a couple sources, but. And as we talked about before, his wife I guess he has 5 children. We do not have information that I haven't seen information. There was nothing given in the press conference on whether his wife and children are in the country illegally. Let me show you something about him. Hang on a moment. I have something I can show you about him. I think. Right here. So this is from the Washington Post from today, what to know about Colorado attack. And they say Soliman lives in Colorado Springs with his wife and 5 children, according to the criminal complaint. He entered the U.S. on a B2 tourist visa in August 2022. The DHS, Department of Homeland Security, said in a statement, the visa expired in February 2023. Said department spokesman Tricia McLaughlin, but Soliman applied for asylum in September 2022, according to the agency. DHS did not respond to questions about how the asylum case has been adjudicated and where it stands. We talked about this before. According to the criminal complaint, he told federal agents he had waited until his daughter graduated to conduct the attack. He learned how to make Molotov cocktails on YouTube and specifically targeted the Zionist group, what he called a Zionist group that gathered in Boulder. Having learned about the group from an online search, he said he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wish they were all dead. He also, by the way, according to the criminal complaint, said that he would do the attack again. He would do this again. Yes, 5 children. 5 children. I just spilled a little water on myself. Sorry. Is his family in the U.S.? His wife and 5 children are in Colorado Springs with him. Well, they were with him. Some people have asked if there is a GoFundMe set up for him. My guess is if there is something on GoFundMe, I wouldn't be surprised if they took it down, but I am not aware of any kind of fundraising for him. Oh, and one of the viewers mentioned something about his daughter. I should check local media and see if they have something. Hold on a second here. Yeah, we have not heard from authorities about the family's immigration status. Jean Romaine says, this is so shocking. I did find it striking that he had a wife and 5 children. I mean, I guess my thought in a case like this is you think the person's like a loner or something. But, you know, as I said earlier, this idea that I'm sure he must have known in some sense that by doing this, he basically would probably not see his family again as a free person, or at least for a very long time. But he was still willing to do it. Oh, and by the way, yes, you can actually look up his place. It says Susanna Branch pointed out the address of his place was given. It's now public. The address of his place was given in the criminal complaint, and maybe I'll just throw a link in the chat for people who want. I looked it up, and this is what I found. I don't have the rights to show the photo, but I'll put a link in the chat, and you can see what it looks like. I just put a link in the chat. Looks like it was. Is it a townhouse? It looks like part of a bigger building, a multi-unit building. I don't know anything about the neighborhood or about the place, so I can't speak to that. But I will say the Zillow estimate for the apartment or the condo, whatever you call it. It's not an apartment. The Zillow estimate for the residence is $278,500. They say it's 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. Yeah, Bogan says, isn't it weird to announce his address like that? It's just what his family lives there. I know, it's just, I believe that's a publicly accessible document now. And it's right in there. It's not, it's right in the court document. So that's public information now. It's out there. But yeah, I hope people don't go and bother them. Siren Muscle says 960 square feet for 7 people. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of families out there who do whatever they can, who just do, who get by with whatever they can afford. But yeah, they had 7 people living there. Anyway, so we don't have information on the family right now, their immigration status, and I don't know what's going to happen with them. And I don't even know if all the kids are his biological children. We don't know that either. So, Michael Burnett says, I'd say families with ICE. There's been no reporting that the family is in custody at all or anything. Paula Thompson says maybe they've been given protection. Yeah, as GDR said, that if the children are born here, they would be citizens. Tiny Gem says, do we know what happened to his ear/head? No, I don't know specifically how he got injured, what his injury was that it required him to have a bandage on his head. Tori says, don't punish the family for what he did. The family has not been charged anyway, by the way. Not been charged with anything. Here's something from AP about him. They say, by the way, It says here, a judge set a $10 million cash-only bond on the state charges. I'm not sure about how if there's federal bond or not. Additional charges. He is getting federally charged with at least a hate crime. So there's that. He was born in Egypt and moved 3 years ago to Colorado Springs, where he lived with his wife and 5 children, according to state court documents. He previously spent 17 years living in Kuwait. That I didn't hear. He previously spent 17 years living in Kuwait. The DHS said he filed for asylum in September 2022 and has been living in the U.S. illegally since his visa expired in February 2023. He worked as an Uber driver and had passed the company's eligibility requirements, which include a criminal background check, according to a spokesman for Uber. An online resume under his name said he was employed by a Denver area healthcare company working in accounting and inventory control, with prior employers listed as companies in Egypt. He listed Al-Azhar University, a historic center for Islamic and Arabic learning located in Cairo, on the resume. Agent X says the family could be good law-abiding Americans that don't condone this, maybe, I think Agent X said to say. But yeah, we don't know more details about the family. BPS said the New York Post had an interview with a witness who said he was burned when he lit one to throw. That is how he got rid of his shirt. That's what one of our viewers claimed. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I might have missed this. Did I miss this? I read it, but did the DA say in the press conference that he was blocked from purchasing a weapon? I might have just missed it. I don't remember. Do you guys remember that? We read about it, but did the DA say it? I didn't hear it in the press conference. Samurai Conscious said I'd love to go back to that. Once in a while during the press conferences, it's, there might be something else going on, or I'm checking other news real quick, or, dealing with the broadcast, and I miss a little something. But one article I'm reading said he said something about it in the press conference. You can rewind the press conference if you want to watch it. I don't remember it. I don't remember hearing about it in the press conference. I've read about it. Anyways, I don't know what part it is. I would have to scroll through the whole thing. I don't know if he was answering a question. Maybe, well, he spoke. He spoke in it. So he didn't speak for that long. I bet we can find it. It was this guy. Let's try and find it right now. Let me scroll through. I'll scroll through and see if I can find it. He only spoke for like 5 minutes. Hang on. I'm gonna try to. I apologize. I'm going to try and find it right now.
Victims of this massive hate crimes across this country. People participated in a place where a lot of people gather. Mass attack. That each one of us is held. The response by community aid. Also, I want to recognize the courage covered by law enforcement, the Boulder Police Department, the victims, and speaks for coordination with one from the U.S. Attorney to be prosecuted. Approach will accurately will allow us to hold fully accountable and done in other cases. At the time the arrest affidavit and warrant were filed, they were filed at the state level as well. So there were 16 counts with intent.
It's so weird.
Device. If convicted of those charges, he's also charged again, if convicted, Molotov cocktails. And then the attempted use would be 192 years. The judge set a $10 million, he's going to be going before the judge to communicate with members by federal, state, and local district attorney. When I walk into this building, working, but into
I remember all this stuff the DA said.
Law enforcement to ensure we get all the fires, floods, and mass bond with strength, that will happen again. Another, to support it and in the weeks, store peace, innocent unless charged.
I just scrolled through his whole thing, and I remembered what he said, and I couldn't find the part where the DA, the local DA, talked about talked about him trying to buy a gun. Oh, maybe it was it the acting U.S. attorney? Was it the first guy? In the New York Post article, it said that the person who said it was the guy I was watching. I was trying to play it for you guys. Anyways, if I can finally, when describing the Molotov cocktails, which person was it? Was it the U.S. attorney or the county? It was definitely the first person talking. Red tie and glasses. Okay, I'm looking at him. Was it the first part of what he said?
Because he was not a legal citizen.
I got it. I found it.
When he could not purchase a gun, but resorted to the Molotov cocktail. Previously tried to purchase a firearm.
Okay, I have it. I don't, it's so crazy that I missed this. I apologize. Maybe I was, one other thing I was trying to do is get the names up on the screen, and maybe I just missed it. That's my bad. Here it is. This is the part where the acting U.S. attorney said the thing about him trying to buy a firearm. We talked about this earlier, but he said it right here. Here it is. This is from earlier.
He said that he had previously tried to purchase a firearm, but resorted to the Molotov cocktails when he could not purchase a gun because he was not a legal citizen. I remind you.
There it is. That was it. Okay. Anyways, guys, I think we're getting close to that time. So it's interesting. Mr. Bigley and Uncredible said too dumb to figure out how to get a gun in America. It is interesting, though. I mean, I don't know anything about this. I would certainly assume there are ways you can get a gun without legally buying it. So, I mean, I'm glad he didn't figure out how to get one. Or maybe he just didn't want to have one even illegally because he thought it might deal with it, might be a problem with his immigration status. I don't know. But, and Redux says you can buy from other citizens. Maybe there was a legal way for him to get it. I don't know in Colorado. I don't know about the gun laws. But anyways. All right. So look, if you didn't, Detective Lopez says it's a gun-free city. Well, he was in Colorado Springs, but this was in Boulder. Again, interesting questions. I don't know all the gun laws there. But our viewer Joshua White says more fuel for the immigration fire. Let's see here. Hold on a second here. We just covered, if you didn't see it, we covered the press conference about the Boulder attack and his court hearing. He has been charged with numerous crimes. Among them, we heard, at least at the state level, they mentioned 16 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of use of an incendiary device, 16 counts of attempted use of an incendiary device. He also is being charged with a federal hate crime charge and maybe other charges as well. So the one other thing I was going to mention is somebody said in the New York Post they saw a witness talk about how he hurt himself, which I didn't see. Anyways, I can't find that right now. I can't find it. I can't find how he hurt himself. I was going to mention it, but anyways, I'm gonna. Susanna said he tried to throw another one and he set himself on fire. That's why he was shirtless. All right, I can't find it where I can't find that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't doubt that you read it somewhere. But I think at this point, I might wrap this up. I think it's time. I think it's our time. Okay. So I really appreciate you guys joining for our live stream on this. And if there's big developments, maybe we'll do another live stream. I don't know that we will, but if there's big developments, we could do another live stream. So we'll see. I will post updates on my X account, which is @Lookner. No, that's not what it is. My X account is @Lookner. You can follow me there, and I'll post updates I hear there. Thank you for joining us for our coverage of the press conference and the court appearance. If you want to see either of those and you didn't, you can rewind and you can watch them. And if there's some big news story tonight, we'll come on the air and cover it as well. So thank you for joining us. Subscribe and follow the channel Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news here without an agenda, Agenda Free TV. And turn on the notifications. I don't know in advance when big news is going to happen, so you might want to. I would suggest turning on the notifications. We have our own notification system, which works great. It's free. You sign up, and whenever we go live, you get a notification sent to you, so you don't miss a stream. The mods will post the link to the notifications in the chat, and you can also find it in the description of this video, the link to the notifications in the YouTube and Facebook description of this video. Find them there. So sign up for those. And thank you so much to our moderators. We could not have our chats without our moderators. It would not be Agenda Free TV without our moderators in the chats. So huge thanks to our moderators who have been there. Janet B. over there on YouTube. Beth Mythical, thank you. Roberts May Queen, all of our other YouTube moderators, thank you so much. Over there on Twitch today, I got that fired. Matthew Kohai, 3 McBritches. All of our other Twitch moderators, thank you. Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley. Paul Anderson on Facebook, thank you. And also Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha, who moderate for us on X. And also, thanks to everybody who donated. That's super nice of you guys. I really appreciate your support for the channel. That's what allows this channel to exist, so thank you. I think I thanked everybody. Oh, Gonzalez. I missed Gonzalez. Thanks for resubscribing, Gonzalez, over on Twitch. If you ever want to donate, you go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. But huge thanks for your support for the channel. And Dennis Kennedy, our viewer, by the way, said, I have 700 square feet, and I think he says he has 4 bunk beds. Bunk beds? Is that what Dennis said? Also, hey, by the way, another good way to find out when we're live is for those of you on X, follow us on X @AgendaFreeTV. I always post there before we go live. I post updates about the channel @AgendaFreeTV. Also, we do have a Discord chat. We have a chat where you can chat with other viewers when we're not live. A lot of our viewers like doing that. That is also free. The link to the chat is the same as the link to the free notifications. So check out our Discord chat. Oh, thanks to Donna Smith for the gift memberships. Very much appreciate that, Donna Smith. Thank you. I do want to mention, for those of you who watch on YouTube, I would suggest turning the YouTube notifications on, but it's a little confusing how to do that. So if you do watch on YouTube and you want to get the YouTube notifications, which are helpful in finding out when we're live, what you got to do is you got to subscribe to the channel first. Then you got to click this bell, the notifications bell, and then you got to choose all. So if you are a YouTube subscriber, make sure you have the bell checked and you've chosen all notifications. Goth Conservative says, in my neighborhood, there are some that are multi-generational homes with up to 12 people and 1,100 square feet. Very common in Houston. The reason people are talking about that is because we were talking about how, according to online information. The suspect's home was about 960 feet or something like that, square feet, I think. And there were 7 people living there. And some people thought that was a lot of people for that size, but other people are saying no, they have knowledge of situations where that's common. As I said, I mean, I'm sure people try to get as much space as they can get with what they can afford, Okay. Hey, thanks so much to our Facebook subscribers for subscribing and supporting the channel over there on Facebook. People like Diane Allworth and Sharon Klassen Goslin, Robert Rial II, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley, Kristen McConnell Gates, all of our other Facebook subscribers too. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Also, Twitch subscribers, thank you so much. Gonzalez, Jaycon, Matthew Kohai 3, Wall Street, and Shaggy. Beautiful Profanity, Annie Kush, Bad Toastery, Susan CHF04, Tom Coolcam, Devil Doc. Thank you, subscribers. And all of our other Twitch subscribers. And our YouTube members, thank you. Huge thanks. People like CAC813, Jean Ann, Naomi Nocturnal, Roger Shoemaker, Marissa Pugliese, Leslie Ladyhawk, Leroy217, Callie Raven, Paul Purton, Don, Rebecca Falsetto, Sam Patton, Teresa, Dennis Kennedy, Wickedest Witch, Leslie Ladyhawk, Jesse's Girl, Thomas Darwin, Susanna Branch, Psychiatrist, Barry, Naomi Nocturnal, Tallulah A. Bell, Irish Sweetness, Joshua White, Babelicious, Big Sky, all of our other YouTube members, GH Fan, Brandy, Mr. Hammond, McKelly Doty, Loki, Sunshine in Arizona, Clangor McGunter, also all of our other viewers, Royale Rathcliffe. Oh, Ruth Krafasi was modding too. Thank you, Ruth, for modding. Appreciate it. Ethereal Planet, thanks for being a member. Teresa. Bluesy Girl, thanks for being a member. Thanks to our viewer, Nashota Mojag, Cecilia Brooks, Captain Dave. Thanks NYXAAU, watching over there on Twitch. Mr. Bigley Uncredible. Nat Tulv 777. Thanks, Lori Nance, for watching over there on Facebook. Stephanie Samantha, Christy Claft, Paula Thompson, and all of our other viewers. All right, we're wrapping this up now. Really appreciate you being here for our live coverage. If there's big news tonight, we'll come back on the air. That is it for now. You've been watching our live coverage of the Boulder attack, press conference, and suspect court appearance. That is it for now. We'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.